If I could go back in time, I would tell my first year self, get involved. It's going to be scary. You're going to have to put yourself out of your comfort zone, but I found that that's where growth happens. You're not going to grow if you stay comfortable and you kind of stay in your shell, as much as that might feel like what you want to do and what might feel comfortable. But it's those moments where you sign up for something where you don't know anybody, or you have to walk into a room where you don't have any friends there, that I've found have pushed me to grow. And so looking back, I thank my first year self for trying her best to get involved, and I would definitely encourage her to continue to do that.
So I would tell my younger self to trust the process, keep showing up for yourself and for others, and the right people and opportunities will come to you. Keep saying yes, lead authentically, and you will end up exactly where you're meant to be. That you don't have to be anyone other than yourself. I wasn't sure if I was going to be the right fit for the program, or the program was going to be the right fit for me, since I didn't have a business background. But there is such a wide variety of backgrounds and types of people with different types of passions there. That just enriches all of our experiences and learning opportunities even more. That is what I would tell myself. Continue to just be yourself, and it will all work out.
So a piece of advice that I wish I'd known before starting at DeGroote is that opportunity begets opportunity, and you should try to say yes to opportunities whenever you can. I found that DeGroote is a really tight-knit community where there's a bit of a snowball effect. So meet somebody, they introduce you to someone else, they encourage you to get involved in something else, and suddenly you'll have all of these opportunities on your plate that you never even knew existed before. So at times you'll have a lot going on, you'll have midterms, exams, whatever it may be, and it might not feel the most convenient to say yes to different opportunities, but that's the only way that more will come, is by getting involved and saying yes to things. So try your best to say yes when you can, and just know that in doing that, you're setting yourself up for success and more opportunities in the future. I've changed the most since my first year at DeGroote in terms of my emotional intelligence. So in the context of leadership, when I began at university, I saw being a leader as standing up at the front of the room and sharing all of your great ideas and opinions. But what I've come to learn through both my in-classroom learning and my extracurriculars is that it's actually the opposite. Leadership is a lot more about listening than it is about speaking. And along with that, my idea of success has also changed. When I began university, I saw success as first place in the case competition or getting a great grade on an assignment. But I've come to learn, again, that success is actually about the relationships you build and the teamwork and the collaboration that gets you to that finish point. And it's not always that one single achievement, but it's more about that experience of working together. So I think that's definitely been one of my greatest lessons, is what leadership looks like and how to work as part of a team to be successful.
I am much more confident now than I was in my first year. I know that I definitely do not know everything, that is for sure, but I have the skills to figure things out, and the relationships and community to ask questions and look for support. So with that, I am confident to tackle any problem or opportunity that comes my way. When I was the co-chair of the DeGroote Interprofessional Health Leadership Conference, this had a huge impact on me because not only did I get to work with a really large and fantastic executive team among both the MBA and MD programs, I also had the opportunity to kind of reap the community that I built by seeking their support in showing up for this event as speakers and as workshop leaders. And this really influenced my perspective and shifted things in the fact that I knew that I could lead a large group of people and lead a function that could have a positive impact on students coming in across different disciplines to foster a positive learning opportunity and experience for them.
More than one single moment, when I think about where I grew the most at DeGroote, I think about the culmination of all of those moments of adversity that I faced. So thinking about assignments where I worked really, really hard on them, or exams that I studied forever for and really tried my best at things and didn't get the grade I wanted, or something didn't turn out the way I was hoping for. And when I look back and I think about those moments where all I wanted to do was shut my computer and go to bed, but instead I tried my best to push through and stay up, I think those are the moments of growth. Not the loud moments, but the quiet, small moments that no one else sees. And just the value of perseverance that I learned in those moments really, I think, was how I grew the most here at DeGroote. The most challenging part of my journey at DeGroote was my final year. I was a student leader in one of the organizations here at DeGroote, and I had a lot on my plate. I had a lot of people coming to me for answers, and I definitely did not always feel equipped to answer their questions. I felt like I had a lot on my plate, and frankly, I felt pretty burnt out at times. But what I learned and sort of how I overcame that burnout was the value of a team. It's really easy when you're in those situations to feel like you are personally responsible for making sure that everything goes smoothly. But what's the point of a team if you're gonna try and do it all yourself? So when I look back on that, I am so grateful that I had such an incredible team, and they're the reason that I was able to get through that burnout and have a successful year overall.
I think the most challenging part of my journey was pivoting from being a registered nurse to an MBA student. So I definitely dealt with a lot of doubt in terms of, was I doing the right thing, since everything that I had known before was nursing and health related, and I didn't want to just throw all that away. So I was looking for an opportunity that I could leverage those skills and that knowledge that I developed to apply it in a different capacity. So learning accounting and finance to complement my clinical and health science background was definitely my biggest challenge, but I was supported with the tools and the faculty and the community that was needed in order to overcome those challenges to ultimately be successful. So my favorite memory is not one specific memory at all, but since we are all at the Ron Joyce Center as part of the MBA program, we're all in one specific building, so we see a lot of each other, which is really nice that we get to cross paths constantly, and just being able to hang out with your friends and your peers in the lounges, in the collaboration rooms. Like, those are the memories that I will remember fondly, even though we may have been stressed or feeling overwhelmed, we had each other, and that is what I will remember the most.
So one of my favorite moments at McMaster was in my third year when I got to go to Alberta for a case competition. I got to go with 3 of my really close friends for a week, and we participated in a national competition. And not only do I look at this as one of my favorite memories because it was a lot of fun being with my friends across the country, but also because it was an opportunity to apply everything that I learned in my 3 years at that point at a competition. And when I think back about my university experience, it was those moments of experiential learning where I had a lot of fun, where I got to take everything that I'd been doing and working hard to learn and apply it in a real life setting. So looking back on all of those experiences, but that one in particular is one of my fondest memories, and definitely a week that I won't ever forget. This photo was taken at the beginning of my third year, and this was at a volunteering event that I helped to organize at our local Terry Fox run. So this team, we all went together on a Sunday and volunteered at our local race for Terry Fox, and I really look back on this moment in fondness because it's one of the first moments that I felt like I was truly a part of something bigger than myself. Here was a group of students going out in their free time on a Sunday to try and help make a difference in our community. And that was just one of many of the incredible volunteer experiences I got to be a part of in my time at McMaster. But those were a lot of my favorite experiences when it felt like we could give back a little bit to the community that had given us so much.
Okay. We're going to rewind back to my very first student days as a 3-year-old. So when my baby sister was brought into this world, my parents bought me my first ever pair of scrubs, as you can see in the picture. I knew from a very young age that I wanted to be a nurse. I was very inspired by all of the healthcare providers that dedicated their lives to providing care for others, to support them, to become their best and healthiest selves. And I recognize that it is such a privilege to be able to care for others at their most vulnerable. And I knew at a very young age that I wanted to go to McMaster for nursing, since it is one of the best programs in the country. So I'm very proud that I was able to meet that goal of mine. It was such a fabulous experience. The professors and the experience I had was incredible, and I cannot be more thankful for my experience. It changed my heart and perspective forever, and I will carry that for the rest of my life. So now when we fast forward to the first couple weeks of my MBA, this was my first ever headshot taken. So this is an individual here that is nervous and unsure of what's to come. So looking back at this photo, I'm so excited for my younger self. She does not yet know what the next 2 years holds for her, and I'm so excited for the learning and opportunities that she's about to have and the friendships she's about to make.
When I think about my journey here at DeGroote, something that I think of as a turning point was my CPD internship. My internship was the first time that I had ever been in a corporate setting, and it felt like the first time that I saw how everything I'd been learning in the classroom actually translated in real life. So a lot of concepts that felt a little bit abstract to me, I got to see what they meant in practice. And the reason it was a turning point was because when I came back for my final year of school, I just had a totally different outlook. Every class, I had so much more perspective to help me really understand the context of what we were learning and be able to connect it to what I wanted to do in my career and in the workforce. So I am really grateful that I had the opportunity to do an internship as part of my studies, and I really think it made a huge difference in terms of everything that I got to learn here at DeGroote. So looking at all of these photos over my 5 years here at DeGroote, what stands out the most to me is how I can see my confidence growing every single year. When I began at DeGroote, I had no idea what I was doing. I felt like a total imposter, and I felt like a student. By my final year, I felt like a leader. Even though there are still a lot of days where I feel like I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, I had so many great mentors here at my time at DeGroote that helped me sort of find my way and helped me along my journey. And by my final year, I felt like I was finally equipped to be that mentor for younger students and help them navigate the scary world that is university and trying to figure out this exciting part of your life. And so although I'm smiling in all of these photos and I may not look all that different, I can definitely tell that my confidence has grown enormously throughout my 5 years, and I'm really appreciative to the community here at DeGroote for making that happen.
So this photo here is at the DeGroote Interprofessional Health Leadership Conference. So I was one of the co-chairs of this event. It was a stressful time getting this conference together, just because it was a lot of work, and it wouldn't have been possible without the huge executive team that supported this event. But this picture here shows the morning of, as guests are beginning to arrive. So I was extremely excited, a little bit nervous to facilitate the whole day, but I was ultimately very proud of what we were able to pull off.